ROC, restore our community. ROC, restore our community. ROC, restore our community. ROC, restore our community.
Wanda P's on a mission to ROC, restore our community. Assuming the task, taking on the responsibility. One block at a time, one young mind at a time. We have to strive.
Hello and welcome to ROC. I'm Wanda P and this is Restore Our Communities. I have a fabulous show for you today. I am so excited. I have one of my young men, like my son, Robert West. How are you doing, Robert?
I'm doing good, just out here trying to make a name for myself. I got my first album out, Time to Rise, Volume 1, Out of Heaven. It's available on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, or if you want to copy it from me, you can get it from my manager, Ariel Williams, aka AC, and Michael Anderson, aka YKM, or my CEO, Sky Black. Shout out to Sky Black, D-Bling, and all that stuff.
Man, I was gonna say, tell our viewing audience who you are and what is your purpose, but he already did that job. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I got my little sister with me, Miss Ariel Williams. Hey, Ariel, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just trying to make a name for hard hearing ET. Like Rob said, I'm the manager.
Okay.
Basically put everything together.
This is
awesome.
This is so cool because I remember Ariel wouldn't say a word, just shy. Girls, so it's just really good to see that you guys are grown up and you're out there making a name for yourself, and things of that nature. Let's talk about how this all came about. 'Cause before you left from where we were at the school and everything, you were doing your rapping then.
Right.
So let's talk about that.
Well, I left for a while when I left Madison and graduated from high school. I actually took a little bit of a hiatus for a while. I didn't rap for 2 years. Then my best friend Michael Anderson said, "Man, you need to get back in the studio. You need to start making some hits." And this is 2008. And around that time, I had the mindset thinking, okay, I'm a very talented guy. I can perform good. I mean, I perform sick if I have to. I mean, I'm dedicated to my work.
That's igniting.
No. Come to find out, it's more so business, handling business part. Not so much. You can do. You got to be talented, of course.
No doubt.
But you have to make sure you have all your ducks in a row in the business part.
Right.
Which that's why instead of just having my one manager, because my one manager he struggles a little bit, but we signed a contract with this label called Black Fly. We just have a little bit of creative differences on that.
Okay.
But they still good because I work with this guy off that label called Johnny Cashville.
Okay.
But in 4 years, it took me 4 years to drop my first album, Time to Rise Volume 1, Out of Heaven, and it's not as easy as you think. You just don't go in the studio and just record a bunch of songs. You gotta be, make sure you have your business stuff together, your audio, the guy that does your songs, your mixing, all that has to be put together properly because, they look at that, they look at your sound and all that stuff. And I learned a lot from that.
And Rob, I really appreciate that. We are. I would share this with people that Rob and I share the same birthday. Remember, we have the same birthday. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So we talk fast, we think fast, and I know that you are creative. I remember doing the plays and when you guys were doing your thing. So I know that there's a lot of talent, and I am so elated to see that you guys are out there, working. And I understood you mentioned about the business aspect because we know. When you're dealing in the type of industry that you're in, you heard the horror stories of people letting their managers and let other people run their business and they're just behind the cameras on stage performing and not really having any hands-on. So it's good to hear you talk about, knowing that you have a balance of maybe 2 managers working with you and each doing their part. Talk about that. What made you become a manager, Miss Manager?
Well, I started off as an artist, like back in 2009.
Okay.
I wrote a couple of songs, did a couple of features with Robin's first project, and well, for the most part, when Michael is busy, I will make phone calls and do paperwork and do all that stuff. So Rob and Michael came together and decided to make me the CEO last year.
Okay.
So it's been doing really well ever since.
I am just, you guys gonna make me start crying, because I just remember everybody, and you just never know. And this is why it's important, people, to really pour into our children. Because no matter what happens, I am so glad to see this end of the spectrum. And that, we'll talk about the other thing that's coming up. You're coming back to give to the school back come up in November. But this is awesome. And we talk about Mike. I really wish he could have been here. His aunt and I are good friends, and I heard some things about him. I'm like, oh my goodness. So he's a manager, he's a promoter. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, I mean, he's awesome. Ariel's awesome, and Sky Black. I did a show at the end. This year actually, and went there to support Rob D. Shout out to him, and we actually, they booked me wrong. I wasn't able to perform. But it was a blessing because Sky Black was there, and Rob D was like, I know this guy, exactly like you, hungry for this business.
Okay.
And he brought him over to me, Ariel, and my wife out there, my wife was out there, and actually just got together and talked, and we was like, just friends right off the rip. And then, I had, that week I was supposed to meet him, I had actually had a diabetic seizure.
Oh, wow.
And I lost my memory. And
wow.
My mind had went all the way back to 14 years old. And through a week process, Ariel helped me get my memory back. And,
wow.
It's pretty much just, boosting that. And then by the time March come, I was ready to get back to work. I signed a contract with Off Top, and I performed at MTSU, 400 plus people. And pretty much just been tearing the house down.
Wow, Rob, I am so proud that to know that you've overcome some obstacles, and we're sitting here now just even talking about where your future is headed, And I think about some of the things, even I'm a creative person, and we talk about our likes and everything, being creative. What are some of the things that motivate you to write some of the songs? Because we're going to talk about one of those songs that you perform and that you're going to perform.
Right. What motivates me to write is just my first album. I felt like I was a lot more happier place.
Okay.
Like Talk to Me Girl was about being in love and finding love and how it feels good. And you hear my first album is really I have no breakup songs. A little bit of a scandalous song called Till in the Night, which played on the Bling radio, but it talks about cheating and stuff. But that's what I used to see a lot.
Okay.
Growing up, seeing my brother-in-law used to cheat on my sister a lot. I try to write about it, make it realistic of what you don't hear, what you don't hear. I try to bring in the reality of what you don't hear behind closed doors. When the doors are closed, there's a lot of people nowadays in the industry, they don't want you to know. I'm letting you know, the truth. Well, my second album is a little bit darker because I had a little bit more darker times. It's happy, has that happy feel like the Our Heaven album.
Okay.
But it has that feel to where, I can relate to, people can relate to me more because I'm breaking down, talking about a dysfunctional guy, not a thug,
Okay.
just a dysfunctional guy that just because it don't matter where you're from, you do have hard times.
Sure.
You don't have to live out, in the hood not to have, people out in the hood sometimes don't have hard times, But
right.
I just break it down to, dysfunctional guys. Sort of like how Eminem was. Eminem didn't live in no project, but, he had rough times. And I just break it down, telling you more of a story. This album can relate to everybody in the next one.
And I like that, Rob, because, personally I know, some things or whatever, it is up to you if you decide to talk about those things. But I do know that that's what really motivates people who are writers and who are songwriters and things of that nature. When they're creative in that way, they can actually, because whatever happened in your life, and I know some things happen, if it didn't kill you, it only makes you stronger.
Right.
And so I know, I'm very proud to know that you've taken, a lot of the hurt, whatever happened in your past, which is where it is, because obviously you're happy, and I'm going to get, he's married. And so we'll get on that part too, because hey, okay, so we'll talk about that. But to even know that you're at a point that you can even find, happiness and a daddy, twice time, right? Okay, so so when I hear those things, that's something to be rejoiceful about. So when you think about, like I said, those negative things, and now you're, in a sense, capitalizing on that, because there are a lot of people who feel that way, maybe it be in a dark place, and they can hear your story, and you can motivate them. And Ariel, now what do you think about some of the things that he's written and talked about?
Honestly, he's left some things out. Honestly, if we really want to go there, he could write a whole movie or book.
Well, we're here to do it. We're here to do it.
If we really, especially over these past 3 years.
Okay.
And she was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Best friend. I mean, we had dated in the past.
I know, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Prom king and queen, actually.
Yeah, hey, okay, now we're talking. The reality show here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
juicy stuff.
But friends, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Go ahead. The story was good. I mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically, I feel like that, you know, as long as you understand that, you know, maybe things didn't work out relationship-wise, if you can keep a bit of a friendship or a really good friendship, that's all that matters.
Wow. You know what? You just gave me goosebumps, because boy, did it take me a long time to learn that. You know, hey, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but you always had that old spirit about you, like you've been here before. So you never, so, and then Rob, you know, you were kind of old for your time too. So that is awesome. I mean, there are people my age don't even get that.
Yeah, and I've seen people like that. Believe me, I've worked with people like that. It's just, it blows my mind.
Wow, God, and that's deep. And to know that, you know, someone cares about you that much, and, you know, now is there a problem with, no, this is serious, wife is okay?
Yeah, she's cool. She's
I'm about to bust y'all, because I feel like I'm just, you know, okay. Like, you'll come out the room.
I mean, my Facebook's like a reality show. You go up there, I post everything that's going on.
I gotta get on, see, I
court
don't-
thing, because we've been in court cases, like, everything. I've been living a crazy life for the past 3 years. Ariel's been here, like, Rob, you can do it. You can keep pushing, Rob. Come on, you can do it. Get out of this. I mean, that's what a friend does. Her and Michael has been cheering me on. Rob, you know, just go to your anger management class. She'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Well, you got that, so I get a box of chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, me as, you know, an anime movie, and, you know, sit me in front of the TV, get to, you know, sit my girls down, and, you know, they watch it, you know. They
I didn't get a chance to ask you if it was a son or daughter, so you have 2 daughters.
I have 2 daughters. Yeah.
But this is awesome, and I love that. And do you ever think about maybe even, have you ever written songs about your daughter? Because I know we talked about,
Yeah.
and you know, we look at rappers and all this negative stuff, you know, in rapping, and you have daughters. Now, you got,
I quote them in some of my new material. I got one called My All, which, you know, that's Scott Black's favorite. He can't wait for my next album to come out. And it talks about, you know, pretty much all the hate I was given when I first, you know, when I did Hip Hop in the Ville. I felt like people were trying to undertone me a certain way. Sort of like, you know, saying, okay, this guy has a different style. He don't sound like a Southerner when he raps. Let's put him on another time. You know, let's put him on last.
okay.
Thinking that, you know, but I was so good to where they wanted me to come out and do their car show.
Wow.
And I think I was the only performer there. And, you know, I was that good to do that, you know. But, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. That's all I have to say.
Well, you know, I used to host the talent shows at the school, and, you know, people, I mean, it was, a lot of it was comical, because everybody that think they have talent necessarily don't have the talent or whatever.
Right.
But I'm of this opinion, if you have the nerve or the boldness to get up in front and perform, you know, in situations like the school talent shows, stuff like that, do it. But I mean, you were good.
Yeah.
You know, so I know you were good. So I really appreciate that stuff. But I'm just amazed that and just thrilled that you still have the desire and you allow that to spill over into your adulthood. You know, and this is wonderful.
I want my girls to always, you know, think, you know, reach out for your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up, because a lot of people say, you know, Rob, you know, you can't do that. You know, listen to your style and all that stuff. It's just like, okay, I'm not going to be one of those guys that work somewhere and unhappy working there. You know what I mean?
You got it. You got it.
I mean, I don't want to be sitting there and my kid asks me, "You like what you doing?" I don't want my daughter ever ask me. I want to be able to tell my daughter, I love what I do, and I love everything I do.
How old are your daughters?
Well, one of them is about to be 2 this month,
Okay.
and the other one is about to be 1 in November. Having back to back.
Okay. Well, sometimes that's the way it
Yeah.
happens or whatever. Now, one of the questions I was going to say, do you have a contact information if somebody wants to get in contact with Big Rob?
Well, Ariel's got all that,
You want to give that information?
spit it out.
Yes. His phone number is 615-208-0337. You can also hit him up at facebook.com/Robert West.
My government name.
Yeah. Twitter, HardHitter03. You can subscribe to him on YouTube at HardHitter05. And you can check him out on Instagram at BigBoss2488.
I mean, y'all just doing a dang thing. This is, I'm happy. I am, and this is, and really, when I understood, like, as we get back to some of your classmates and some of the other kids that graduated, Leo wrote a book. Michael is, you guys doing what you're doing. Elijah's into the music. He has some really good stuff. I've heard his stuff. We'll be in the gym and he listen to this, and I will listen to it. Like, so, I'm just proud to know that you guys are out there, making this thing happen. Rob, let's talk about, we talked about it earlier, but let's elaborate more on the business aspect and the responsibility of rapping, because we know a lot of the rappers are into the drugs and the drinking, and they're looking at the fun and game going and trying to drop these tracks. Let's talk about the importance of the business.
The importance of dropping a good track is, one of my engineers does smoke weed. But if you're gonna do that, make sure you're not gonna you have all your stuff together, and you have just pretty much everything mapped out. But I don't smoke weed at all. But it's but I always have. But I do have children I have to take care of.
Sure.
But I have to make sure they are alright, and make sure that I have my flash drive in case my CD don't work. Because sometimes you have a CD malfunction. And I have my lyrics already, drummed in my head, because sometimes when you write it down, that's what artists do. It kind of makes me mad. They write it down, but they don't practice. They don't have, you don't know how you're going to flow it. You got to know how you're going to flow it in the studio. You got to know how you're going to what kind of feeling you're going to have with it. I make sure that I have all that down packed before I hit the studio up, because you go in there, you just have a bunch of paper with a bunch of lyrics on there, and you sitting over there trying to read it. I mean, you're wasting that guy's time.
Sure.
You're wasting your own time, and you're not going to get anything done. You're going to spend about
a lot of money.
3, 4, 5 hours. You're making that guy get paid.
That's right.
But you're wasting your money on basically walking up studio creating nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that fact when I was 18, because me and my friends, we had a group called Lyrically Gifted, and we went in there with just paper full of rhymes. And the point was, the guy, the technician was like, you know what? Y'all gotta go home. y'all gotta go home. This is 2005. Y'all gotta come home and redo all that. Because y'all even have your stuff together. One of my guys is over there playing or something. He was over there watching the football game, and
The heart wasn't in it.
his heart wasn't in it. And then it come down to that guy left, the guy that was watching the football game, and it's down to the two of us. We came there. I had drummed it in my head. I was riding the bus home, just drumming how I'm gonna rap it in my head. It's a lot. I learned, that was when I was 17. I learned so much from that one mistake. And I learned now that, even when you don't say, I have kids, I can't get stuff together. Don't say that, or don't say that I have a hangover. You choose to get that hangover, you still have a job to do. You still have to go out and make that track. So make sure, if you're gonna do all that, if you have a family, you have all that, make sure you drum the lyrics down in your head. Make sure you have your song together, how you're gonna go in there and spit it. Because if you do not have that together, you're not gonna create anything, and you're gonna tell in the track that it's not gonna have no feeling in it, and how you gonna push out a product with just words.
Wow, I'm just elated, because you just don't know how many business people don't even have that sense that you just gave out to us. Wow, and you learned a valuable lesson. And what about you from that perspective?
Well, I feel exactly the same way as he does, but one thing I also noticed is, I don't know what it is, and this is just with anything, whether you're doing music or whatever, when you're dealing with a lot of men, I don't know if it's like testosterone, but they get arrogant, and they'll say stupid stuff like, oh, I'm gonna do this with my eyes closed, and just completely mess up the song just trying to be arrogant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's a lot of arrogance in this industry. It's a lot. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, it's to the point where I have worked with arrogant people, that, you know, like this one guy did this track, I'm not gonna say his name, it'd be disrespectful. You know, he was a hardcore rapper, which I've explained that it is a style that is hard and it's
Cursing and all that profanity.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can have profanity, but sometimes, you know, you have to make it softer for it to relate to other people. Because other people might not relate to all that, you know, where you're making the songs the same. My CEO said you have a perfect, you know, balance.
Okay.
Which, with that guy, he didn't have a perfect balance. He was just rapping hard all the time. You have to relate to everybody because sometimes you cannot always pull that one fan base. Sometimes you gotta try to pull from everybody because you're gonna get 100,000 here, maybe 20,000 there, or maybe 200,000 there. You know, you never know. You know, you gotta pull from each, you know, genre of, you know, if they like R&B, they might like Chip on My Shoulder, something better, or they might like a hard, you know, a hard song. They might like Back something crazy. You know, you just gotta, you know, balance. You gotta go for all of your audience. Go from a different audience, Latino, Black, you know, white, you know, or just everything's like a melting pot. It's like you're making a perfect fondue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where are some of the places you performed? And so if people want to see where have you been, where you're going?
Well, I performed at the Rutledge, the End, and I performed at BB King, and tonight I'm going to Jazz and Jokes, and and I've performed at F5. Where else? You know,
BB King,
MTSU, which that was fun. You know, I'll explain. I'll talk about that. You know, MTSU was a rough crowd. You know, they liked me though, but they booed the one guy that went up there. And they moved that one guy. He went up there before me, and he pretty much, you know, I thought I was gonna get booed because they saw my profile and they were like confused. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get booed for the first. I've never been booed before. I get up there and I'm like a sacrificial lamb, you know. And then I get up there and I just, you know, I start talking to the audience and they drop talk to me, girl. They was singing my lyrics. And,
oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
They was singing my lyrics. Everybody was just like, the girls like, that's why I want to talk to you, girl. And they was screaming my name out until I left that place.
Oh,
you know, they were screaming out the windows.
And that's favorite.
And then I serenaded a girl and everything, and it was cool. You know, my wife didn't like it.
Well, I'm sure she did. I'm gonna find out who this is really good. Okay, give your information one more time. Then we're gonna.
Big Rob and Robert West / Facebook, Instagram Big Boss 2488. You know, Twitter Hard Hitter 03. You know, what else they can reach me or you?
YouTube. Hard Hitter 05, you can reach me at facebook.com/Ariel Williams, or I don't have a Twitter, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back. We're gonna let Rob perform. Talk to me, girl.
All right. Talk to you. Yeah. Off Top Records. Hard Hitter ENT. Let's restore our communities. Let's restore hip hop. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. That's why I want to talk to you, girl. Come on now. Channel 19, let's get it. Yeah, that's why I want to talk to you, girl. Come on. I'm going to talk to y'all for a minute. Yeah. I see you been eyeing me for a while. I can see you been liking my style. Come on, girl, come chill with me for a while, and you can see what type of brother I am. Who's gonna treat you right? Me and you is going some places with your attitude. You never rude to me. In 2 weeks, you're saying that you miss me and I'm missing you. I'm like, bro, what I be without you? And then you say, forever, me and you. This is a classic moment. You my only woman. Who said that gangsta thugs can't fall in love? You my main girl, I think I'm in love. Yeah, that's why I wanna talk to you, girl. Come on, y'all, flow with me. Come on. Yeah, that's why I wanna talk to you, girl. Come on, let's get it. We both went through the same thing. That's why I'm comfortable of telling you everything. You tell me in a way the same thing. We both soldiers of the same struggle. I'm feeling for you like a crackhead. I need you. You don't like me, because I rap or carry a gat. You like me because I don't hold back the feelings I have for you. That's why I like talking to you. I love your touch, I love your lips, I love your hips, I love kissing you. I don't know where I'll be without you. I can't do this rap thing without you. Yeah! That's why I want to talk to you, girl. Come on, hard hitter, off top. Let's get it. Yeah. That's why I want to talk to you, girl. Come on, y'all. Let's get it. Let's do it. 2 years, I'm still feeling you, you feeling me. It was like we were meant to be. I done came up, CD's about to drop. I love it still, what's up? You trust me and I trust you. I try hard, do nothing to hurt you. You my lady, never acting shady. Even though we get mad sometimes, we make up all the time. I love how you call me Big Rob the dog while we getting it on. I love how your jeans look hanging on. You driving me crazy. You could be the girl that's gonna have my baby. Yeah! Go get that album out of heaven. That's why I wanna talk to you, girl. We making a mark on this hip hop stuff. Let's get it. Yo. That's why I wanna talk to you, girl. Yo, come on, mess with hard hitter ENT. Let's get it. Yeah. We gonna be here forever. We ain't never going nowhere. We ain't never gonna stop. Yeah. Why I wanna talk to you, girl. Come holler at a player. Yeah. That's why I wanna talk to you, girl. Yeah. That's why I wanna talk to you, girl.
None of us perfect. But don't you ever give up on community. Let me tell you why. Because even those that give up on the church, when they tail get in trouble, guess where they come running back to? The only place that'll receive you with open arms is the place you ran away from. It's the church. But listen carefully. Why do you say that, Pastor? Why do you say don't give up on the church? Let me tell you why. Because when you look at